Kalimera, kalispera, kalinichta. No matter where in this wild, wacky, and sometimes wonderful world you might be, thank you for making the Highbury Squad part of your day. This post-game show is dedicated to all of the haters, the non-believers, and those who wanted Arteta out. It's a spanking again. Let's go.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Well. You've got solo Soph for this one, boys and girls. And guess what? Haven't even dressed today. That's how confident I felt. It's casual Saturday here at Squad Central. Welcome to the post-game show. What a win. Let's see. I'm not good at maths. I can only do maths when Magic Mike is here. 5 goals against West Ham. 5 goals against Sporting. 3 goals against Nottingham Forest. 13 goals in 3 games. Do you still want a striker? What are you moaning about today? I know my squaddies aren't moaning. I know they're reveling in this epic victory. Okay. Hello and welcome to each and every one of you for joining. Wow. What a match. Let's get some hellos in, shall we? Our chief like officer, excuse me, as per usual, is inviting you to hit the like button and show the love. And as I said earlier, this will be fun. Hello, Carol. To you, Archangel, all the way from down under, up and ready to chime in. Dan Alpha. Ooh, this is going to be a great show. Brady's Banana is here. PW is here. Frito is here. Yanto, Ian, John, welcome to Squad Central, each and every one of you. Muhammad is here as well. Major fireworks in the first half. My goodness gracious me. So I was making notes, right? I was trying to make notes for the game and I couldn't keep up. Couldn't keep up with any of it. I'm like, I just tweeted this and now I've got to tweet that. And I just put this picture up for the squaddies and now I've got to put this picture up of this player. And it just went from one extreme to another. It was an annihilation in the first half. And the 2 goals that we gave up, first one was a total lapse in concentration. I think it was a case of we're up 4-0, plain sailing. Maybe we can make some tea and have some scones with David Raya at the back. Calafiori, I thought, was at fault for that one. Not going to kill him for it. Came off with a little niggle, touched his inside leg. I'm not going to say anything else about that. But it was glorious. And their free kick was world class. Nothing David Raya, not even Dino Zoff couldn't have even saved that. Peter Shilton couldn't have saved that. Manuel Neuer, you name all the top class goalkeepers in the world. There's no way they are saving that. I do apologize if there's a bit of a delay on the internet. We're trying to get that rectified. But let's talk about the game, shall we? And if you want to pop into the show and say hi while I'm in my bathrobe and just chilling Hugh Hefner style on this fine Saturday morning in these grand United States, let me know. Watching match of the day. It's going to be great. I have a feeling that we might be the leading game today. Just a hunch. Just saying. Highbury Squad, I had a dream that I bumped into you and Tony while we were on a visit. That sounds like a good dream. What was I wearing? Was I wearing my bathrobe and a beanie? Not in Australia this time of year because it's summer. But I love that dream. And one of my OGs, absolutely adore you. Thank you so much for sharing. Great win. But Sterling, Zinchenko, come on. This is not the day to do this. Squaddies, you let me know. Are you having any complaints about Zinchenko, Jesus, and Sterling? We're up 5-2. These are the players that just come in to make up the minutes, close the game out. Starters versus finishers. You've heard many people talk about it here. You've heard your manager, Mikel Arteta, talk about it as well. The game was done. The game was in the bag. we were able to rest certain players and get minutes out of squad players. And that's what it's all about. Just bring them in and, that's the name of the game. Hi, I'm in my pajamas. Well done, Yanto. Who else is in their pajamas today? Send us a note in the live chat if you are in your pajamas. In fact, I'm going to take my slockers off. I've invented this. Slippers and socks together. They're called slockers. I'm starting to get a little bit hot because it's warm in California. Hold on, I'm going to take my other slocker off. There we go. All right. Who else is in their pajamas? Oh, no, they're not empty shirts. Come on. Come on. No, wait. Okay, I can't keep up with you guys. Let's see. Archangel thinks that it's Arc or Arch? I can never, you guys correct me on this. I think Rare was slightly out of position. There's no way. No way. No way, no way. Let me know if you agree with Yanto or not. My cousin George already trying to call me. We all know that there's going to be a clear out in the summer. All right. But for now, they're bodies. And we need bodies to come in when we're dominating games. We've scored 13 goals in the last 3 games. The return of Odegaard has been nothing short of sensational, right? So we're not going to kill Jesus and Sterling and Zinchenko. I will especially not have it about Sterling. Zinchenko and Jesus have been here long enough to prove themselves. Jesus in particular, who we used to build everything around, what he did on and off the ball, sensational. But to kind of go at Sterling at this point, I'm not having that. I'm just not. Not today. Maybe in a couple months, you'll get me there. But today, I'm just absolutely not going to do that. Brady's bananas in his PJs. Yanto's wearing his Arsenal PJs. Half-time, 3-0 up. I was nervous. Nah, not this time. I was not nervous at all. Even when they scored the 2, I thought to myself, the boys have got this. There's no way we're losing. Let's not be picky tonight, says Carol, who swims in cold waters every morning. She is as stealth as they come. Well said, Carol. Ramsdale would have saved it. Okay, now you're just toying with me. Now you just want to prove a point that I stood by Ramsdale all that time. And David Raya is the keeper that we've always dreamed of. Sterling needs more games. Kivio did nothing wrong. Did he do anything wrong, Ian? I don't think he did anything wrong. I didn't. All right. I was wearing a white hoodie. You mean like this one? I've got a hoodie under my bathrobe because I was a bit chilly this morning. So, yeah. Yeah. Let's talk. That free kick was a worldie. Exactly. Arsenal radio said Waneri and Martinelli were their choices to come on. I mean, rest Martinelli. Didn't need to come on. I mean, guys, we're winning 5-2. What are we talking about here? Right? Let's talk about the mothers' meeting before the corner. I absolutely love this. Big Gabby. I mean, come on. What else do we need to say about this player? What a beast, what a monster, what a man, what a leader of men. He is the type of man that other men would follow to the end of the earth in skinny black jeans, even when they're out of fashion. That is Gabby XL. That is Big Gabby. That is the Brazilian nut that we have in our squad. And by the way, the video of his family watching the game during the week when the corner was coming in and they were just anticipating that he was going to score. He is an absolute monster. So he's telling Saka, listen, little boy. Listen, little star boy. By the way, I want you all to start calling him Star Man, and we'll get onto that. We do need him for Man United, and I think it was a good thing that he came off. He is the Batman. He totally is the Batman. I want to do the line at the end of The Dark Knight, where the commissioner says he's not the man the city need right now. Someone put it in there for me. And by the way, I want you guys to help me out with the post-game show. Anytime you get a quote from Mikel Arteta, please do let me know. Hello, K Marlon. Good evening to everyone in the house. So he says, listen, son, this is where I want the ball. And of course, Saka, what a player. Have I not said all week and to the guests over the last 2 weeks, stop comparing Cole Palmer and Madueke to Saka and Foden even at this point. Foden System player, won the treble. Can't deny him that. He was glorious. But I would even argue that there were a couple of players that he were even better than Foden. It's because he was in a treble-winning team that he wins Player of the Year. Bukayo Saka has come into an era, a time that I don't know when was the last time we saw this. When Nicolas Anelka, for those of you who are old enough to remember, when Nicolas Anelka came into the team, he was just on a different level. The speed, the touch, opening spaces, making opportunities for himself, deceiving players. He was just such a sexy, beautiful footballer to watch. And Bukayo Saka is in his own era. If Beyonce had her Lemonade era, what are we calling this Saka era? You guys coined the phrase because it is glorious to watch. What a joyous footballer he is. And he got kicked about. He assisted twice. He got a penalty. He buried the penalty. Bukayo Saka is the Arsenal. He is just undeniable. He's an improbable force, object. Call it what you want. But Bukayo today, again, talk about step up in big games. That's what I was saying to Paul Buckle yesterday on the show. And if you missed it, please go watch it. It was a really engaging conversation. We talked about managers and different moments in adversity and calls and decisions and all types of stuff. And one of the things I brought up was Bukayo Saka, Cole Palmer. Who shows up in big games? Who's been there for England? Who's been there for the Arsenal? Bukayo Saka is the Don. He's an unbelievable footballer and he deserves all of the respect. And today he was beastly. And I'll tell you something, he's an absolute joy to watch, isn't he? Let's see what you have to say. Saka, our main man, says our chief like officer. He's the catalyst. A decade of stars. Dan says Saka has matured so much in the last few years. The fact he was first in when Timber got kicked got me roaring for him. Absolutely. Anelka was world class till he left us. Well, let's be honest. Anelka and his brothers moved for profit for many, many years, didn't they? How many teams did he end up playing for? Just popping in to hit the like button. See you on replay. Nice win for the boys. Cheers, Trev. Trev, a Foden missing. Hit the like, says Yanto. Listen. Anyway, being picky, Arteta, please use all 5 subs available. You are being picky. Imran, you're being very, very picky. Very picky. Imran also says, having seen Gyökeres in Lisboa on Tuesday night, who would be the real difference maker? We scored 5 goals from 5 different players. We scored the most goals in our history last season. I think we need still cover for Saka, an Odegaard cover. We need a left back, maybe a right back. I mean, we are scoring goals. I'm not sure what to say anymore about this subject. It sounded as if Timber did well. Listen, this is why Dan Potts told you guys, slowly growing into one of his favorite ever players. And Timber made the thumbnail today. Works in the shadows. Other players will steal the headlines, but Jurrien Timber is working in the shadows, people. He is doing things masterfully. He is a beautiful footballer to watch. When he's not even in the game and he's in his own third or up to the halfway line, he's like Hawkeye. You could see he's getting the bow, he's getting the arrow, he's ready. This guy is an unbelievable football player. He really, really is. And I tell you something, another player that we stole from another team. Let's have a look at some of the stats, kids. All right. We had 15 shots. They had 11. We had 7 on target. Scored 5. They had 5 on target. 61% possession to us. You do the maths. All right. You know what that means they had possession-wise. 460 passes for the Gunners. 296 to the Hammers. Pass accuracy, 83%, 78%. 12 fouls by us, 10 by them. 1 yellow card, 3 for them. No red cards, although at half-time, it looked like this game had red card written all over it, didn't it? 2 offsides. We had 10 corners. 10! Ah, unbelievable. Let's look at the starting lineup as well. Let me know what you think about that. Um, no Partey, no Mourinho. Don't you worry, babies. We've got Jorginho. I thought he was brilliant today. You heard Harry, you heard Tom, you heard Potsy, you had LeGrove. You even heard Clive Palmer on this show talk about play Jorginho. In the times when Odegaard wasn't fit and maybe Arteta wasn't ready to throw Waneri into the mix, Jorginho today put on one of those performances where he was reminding Mikel Arteta, hello, do you remember the guy who destroyed England in the Euros final? That's me, Jorginho, the Italian dude. I thought he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I know that there were a few Gunners worried about the fact that those players that were pulled for niggly, maybe hopefully just niggly injuries. But Jorginho, I mean, look, I don't think West Ham are great. I'm not going to sit here and say we beat a great team. We absolutely destroyed them. Even when it was 4-2, the game was over. They were done. They were toast. You know, spread them on your toast, have a little munch. They were done. So I thought Jorginho, who stepped in to really a high pressure game that we couldn't afford to lose, considering Liverpool and Manchester City are playing tomorrow, I thought Jorginho did great. Let's see what you think. Yeah, Jorginho was excellent. We did humiliate them. Evgeny, who loves to correct me on my grammar, I was very comfy when I saw that Jorginho was starting beside Declan. I agree with you. Jorginho, dark arts today. I love that. Are you talking about when he was standing in front of Fabianski, Tammy? Because that was glorious. Tom Canton was at the game. I've been talking to him during the game, saying hello. Spot on, read the five subs. Apologies. Well done, Imran. If we love something on this show is to admit when we make a little mistake. Let's see, what else have we got in here? Timber is becoming one of my favorites. We need a Havertz cover. Again, look, he scored again, Kai. King Kai. You want to talk about Kai for a minute? Let's talk about Kai. Look at that form right there. Beautiful. Scores again. And this is when, I think the fifth, did he score the fifth goal? Can't remember, but I put 5 balls in here. Who doesn't like 5 balls? Who doesn't like to see 5 balls in a row right there, like that? Beautiful stuff. Kai Havertz, the unsung hero of the Arsenal. The player everyone wants to bash. Not everyone, some. And yet, look at this stat, you guys. Are you ready for this craziness? Kai Havertz. Look at that. 91 games, 26 goals and assists. 49 games for the Arsenal, 26 goals and assists. You talk about elevation. You talk about Mikel Arteta giving players confidence, making them better, making them feel like they belong. They're part of the team. They're leaders in the team. Kai Havertz stats there. In the half the games. I know it's a little like over, but it's half the games. He once again does cleanup, does things that people go unrecognized. And I thought to get, and also when he went one-on-one like that, admit it, you were just thinking, please score this goal. Please show that you are that guy. One-on-one with the goalkeeper, beautiful through ball. And he just, the technique, the touch, the finish, absolute first class, world class from King Kai. And again, I thought he did everything right in this game. Helped going back, helped in those moments, small touches, just really that right side. Do you want to move on to talking about our right side? One day our left side will be as strong as our right side. But dear God, how dominant was that right side in the first half? Timber and Saka and Odegaard and Havertz interchanging. It was ruthless. We eviscerated them. We made them cry. We took their football soul. There was nothing left. They wanted it over. They wanted to throw in the white towel like Apollo Creed in Rocky IV. It was brutal. It was punch after punch, uppercut, left, right. Bosh. We did them and we did them dirty. And that right side was nothing short of spectacular, a flawless performance. You know, their first goal came from Calafiori not being able. This is what I told you I was worried about, right? Calafiori's pace going forward, coming back. He's not mastered that yet. It's the Premier League. He's not used to the pace. But that right side, holy moly, guacamole. It's amazing. You are not late, Hertzy. You're going to be the guy that gives me the Mikel Arteta quotes. I know it. Let's see. Don't forget, Sophie, how much Kai's dynamic has changed since the return of our skipper. I said it, Evgeny. He, other than our defense, because of the way Odegaard can control a game, he's the one that missed him the most. And look where we're at right now. We're seeing the best of Kai again. Let's be honest, everyone missed Martin Odegaard. Is there an Arsenal player that didn't miss Marty? He is... I mean, you're making me jump from one thing to another here, but I'm loving it. I'm loving the comments. He did. He missed Martin Odegaard, but this beautiful player. Let's see how many times I can say beautiful and sexy in one show. And it's not a sexual thing. It is a football thing. These are beautiful. This guy is a beautiful football player. What? He just mesmerizes you time and time again. We stole him from Real Madrid. It was the greatest football heist in history. He is just so special. We are totally different. We're playing with confidence. Players are playing with confidence again. What he brings to the table is unbelievable. Martin Odegaard, take a bow, son. You are incredible. Just incredible. I mean, and a joy to watch. And Long, touch wood, maybe he be fit for the rest of the season. We asked the question in this week to a few of our guests, who's Arsenal's most important player? Now, it's a team, right? But you always have an MVP. He and Saka is a close tie. Dan Potts, for him, it was Saliba. But my goodness, today, when West Ham really had nothing and offered little and scored a worldie from a set piece, and Wan-Bissaka scored from a lapse in concentration and Calafiori not getting back, against the better sides, I think that's when Saliba comes into play. But overall, Saka and Odegaard, holy guacamole. It's chili pepper. Chili pepper. Good evening, Maxine. Good to see you. Good evening, Rich. Good to see you too. 4 a.m. in Singapore. And look at this. The OG squaddy right here, dedicated and tuning in. Hit that like button for us. Keep saying Martino is the best midfielder in the league. He is. I'm actually starting to think he might be the best in Europe. Have I gone too far? Have I said too much? I don't know. You guys tell me. He is ridiculous. I mean, hang him in the Tate. Forget this hanging in the Louvre. We're a London club. Hang them in the Tate. Him and Saka. Emo, in his opinion, says Steve. Yerki says, I missed out Martin Odegaard of the last season. He seems to be back to that level now. He's different levels. Different levels. Dan says, I tell you who I think is the MVP. Arteta for assembling this spine. I haven't seen stability like this since the 03 season. Huge kudos. We will get to the gaffer. We certainly will. He's the Arsenal midfield wizard. If there was another Harry Potter movie, Martin Odegaard would be cast in it. There's absolutely no doubt about that. 35 million bargain. You are right. It's called passion, Sophie. We understand what you mean. Which part and about what? Help me understand that. Tommy Yasu. Who's he? Sorry, too soon. Odegaard is the puppet master. No one pulls the strings like our captain. Yo, Chief Demsek, how you doing? John says Kai never looked at the ball as he stroked it home. This is it is beautiful. Well said, John. Absolutely brilliant observation. Really great observation. He was great. Second half was an absolute bore. I'm not even going to talk about it. That's why I'm wearing my bathrobe still. I was prepared for the second half and I was ready to go. First half was the game, and we won the game in the first half. And, you know, we usually do player ratings. Hold on. Our Australian friend is in with another one. I was a bit concerned with his delayed run-up for his penalty, though. Oh, those Aussies with that sense of humour, eh? He's going to have a spoonful of Vegemite now. and get all buff on us. White has to fight extreme. Yes, he does. He absolutely does. And this is the position that we want to be in. We want Benjamin White fighting hard to get his place back. We want the competition between Trossard and Martinelli. We want Jesus and Sterling to be at it, to be the guys who come on to make a difference in a game or to hold a game. We want Mikel Merino to be stamping his foot and saying, I should be starting in midfield. We want all of those things and more. And, you know, Benjamin, who we love greatly, is going to find it hard to take that baton off Urian Timber. We gave them a sniff, though, after the fourth goal. One more goal for them. And you coulda, shoulda, woulda. You know, I love to play the what if game, K Marlon, but didn't happen. 4-2 still comfortable. We didn't panic. What I thought was we did get complacent. You go 4-0 up, you kind of want to, like, you know, take your boots off, put your what are those flip-flops from Brazil that everyone loves, put them on, and then, you know, have a little lounge in a hammock. And I think that we just took our eye off the ball a little bit. And I think that's going to be what Mikel Arteta points to the side. I don't care if we're 5-0 up, 8-0 up, whatever. You've got to close out the game. No mistakes. And we just switched off for a little bit and we paid the price. And against a better team, you're right, Kay, that could cost you much, much more. Albert, what you doing? I miss Martin Odegaard, but not as much as I miss you. Roll on Wednesday. Yes, I will be there. Albert, if you want to pop in and say hello, let me know. Mohammed, the captain. Yes. Maxine, yes. Mad 4-0 up, let two. Yeah, we did. We let 2 goals in, but it's okay. It's okay. I am in my cold garage here in the great white north of Vancouver working out. Samson, you show off. Working out in the cold. Shouldn't you be eating a meat pie, sausage roll? Come on, Arsenal. Give us a goal. Well done to you. You've motivated me maybe to get out of my bathrobe and go for a walk along the Pacific Coast Highway. Ah, the joys of an Arsenal win. Omar, let's see what Omar has to say. I would have still liked to see more goals in the second half. Oh, you're spoiled, Omar. You are so spoiled. We are so spoiled. Let's see. Demsek was concerned about J20 post the Forest game. Even our good friend Yankee Gunner, a.k.a. Elliot from Arsenal Vision, was worried about Jorginho playing 2 games in a row, I think it was. Come on, he's a professional footballer. He's hardly played this season. He's ready to go. This guy is going to be masterful. You wait for the Jorginho show as it gets into the deep stages of the Champions League, because I think we will go into the deep stages of the Champions League. This guy, I love this guy. His temperament, his leadership. I love everything about him. He's so important. And, you know, we very loosely talk about Partey's going to go this summer. Jorginho's going to go this summer. Gabriel's going to go this summer. Zinchenko's going to go this summer. Be careful what you wish for, because they're saying we're going to bring in young players. We still need leadership. And yeah, you've got Gabriel, you've got Rice, you've got Havertz, you've got Odegaard. Saka now's a leader. But those players I'm talking about have won big things. And that is really important to a team that hasn't won big things yet. But hopefully they win big things and they ride off into the sunset with their winner's medal under their arm. Just trotting off on their little horse. Timber has skills. He sure does. Let's see what else you guys have to say. Nafur. Arsenal fans should stop the habit of quickly turning their backs on players. Listen, no one's turning their back on Benjamin White. What they're saying is, and rightly so, and where we want to be, is that it's going to be hard for Benjamin White to get his place back. That's competitive sports. That's football. That's how it should be. This channel loves Benjamin. We are all about the Benjamins on the Highbury Squad. No turning our back on him. Play like him is fundamentally important to this Arsenal team. And many Arsenal fans, if a Champions League final was starting tomorrow, they pick Benjamin White to start it if he's fully fit. So this is where we're at. What else do we want to talk about? So we got the corner, the mothers meeting at the corner, which I loved and I thought was great. I'm really pleased we don't start playing too. Yes, because he trusts. He's got his players back. He's got his players back. He's got his captain back. He's got his Captain Fantastic back. Captain Norway is back. The Marvel superhero has returned. The Greatest Showman is here. Mikel is really big on trust. And he governs a game on trust. And that is a really big thing. And we're going to get to talk onto the gaffer now. Summarizing, Gabby was amazing. Gabby was amazing. Gabby was amazing. Odegaard was amazing. The right side were totally dominant. It was a beautiful thing to see Kai Havertz score, almost blindfolded. It's great to see Havertz stats from the time he was playing at Chelsea. And Bukayo. If I was pregnant and I was having a child, I would name it Bukayo. And I would maybe even have Saka as the middle name. Bukayo, Saka, Gardner, Nicolau. His middle name is Vieira. Vinny Vieira. But yeah, if I was having a bambino, if Arsenal win the league, there's going to be a lot of pregnancies and there are going to be a lot of children named Bukayo. This is my big prediction. This is what Sostradamus sees in her crystal football. There's nothing but happiness today. I don't even want to talk about, like I said, the Calafiori thing, opportunities missed in the second half. This was a London derby, and this was a team coming off a confident win against Newcastle. A lot of people were like, this is going to be West Ham's journey back. I actually said on the show, I'm glad they beat Newcastle because they got a little bit of a monkey off their back. And going into this, it was a perfect storm for us. And yeah. Before, let's hold on one second, kids. Hold on. Here we go. Albert, right here in the comment section. Ooh. Check in, pop in and say hi. For sure. Okay, player ratings. Should we just do everyone together and give everyone a 10? Maybe Calafiori doesn't get a 10 today. Maybe he gets a 9 just because, he's Calafiori. But let me know what you think. I'll put the link in there, Albert. It's in the chat. Hit it. And yeah, Ian, hit the likes. Let's see. Omar says, in wine, there is wisdom. In beer, there is freedom. In water, there is bacteria. Whoa, that's deep. What are we talking about here? I'm lost. I think I'm pretty smart. Sometimes. My man, Albert JT.
Right, Sophie, so I've got you on. That's it, that's better now. So I had you on in the background as well as coming onto the live stream. And that's not going to be any good. Can you hear me all right, Sophie?
I can hear you all right. I've been talking nonstop for 33 minutes and 37 seconds. So I'm going to give you the floor to give your assessment of today's evisceration of the Hammers.
You make me laugh. You said something about 2 seconds ago. You absolutely spot on. And chat, you have to agree. West Ham beating Newcastle was the best thing that could have happened to us going into that game today. 1,000,000%. Because if they got turned over by the Geordies and come into that game at home, even as poor as they've been under Lopetegui, it'd have been a different game. I 100% believe that. So Arsenal dominant. Absolutely. Kevin would have agreed. Kevin would have loved me saying this. We jerk chicken them up. So if we barbecue them, we roast pork them, we roast lamb them. It was complete dominance. David Raya probably had his flip flops on, especially in the first half. We got a goal. Sophie goals from open play, set pieces. I mean, West Ham must have thinking, what is going on? Gabriel's done it again. I don't even know how many he's got this season, but he's going to get a few if he carries on the way he's going at the moment.
It's so crazy. It's almost like, I don't know if you saw, and bye Dan, thank you. Whoa, hold on one second. This is big news. I'm gutted. Got to jump off the live. Has got to go into the battlegrounds of Stratford to get my partner a maternity dress for her baby shower tomorrow. Wish me luck. Putting my colours on. Yes,
Dan, I've seen Dan
Albert.
before. Yes, I've seen Dan before in the chat. Big up to you, Dan.
Big up, Dan. Make sure that
Yeah.
dress is red. And good luck to you and your beautiful partner. And hope everything goes well. Enjoy that baby shower. I'm sure you'll be popping some bottles tomorrow, and deservedly so.
Sophie, do you know what I love, Sophie?
What do you love?
It's a small thing, right? Because I've heard you talk about Saka over the last couple of years, 2-3 years, and myself, I love him. I'd adopt him if I wanted children. One thing in the game, definitely this season, I've seen is it's not a nasty side, but he picked up a booking today, and I was like,
I like that.
yes, get in there, son.
Yeah.
When we played Tottenham away earlier in the season, we won 1-0. During Timber had a little bit of a scuffle. The first person over there was Bukayo Saka. He's not only showing leadership, giving him the captaincy when Erdegaard was injured was a masterstroke. And I like that side of him. Other players, I would have a go at the Arsenal side for picking up stupid yellow cards, but this is just my own personal humble opinion. I'll give him a free pass for getting that yellow card today, because for me, it's the fact that he's not this. Yes, when he smiles, my heart melts, Sophie. But that aside, when it comes down to football and the business end of what he's supposed to do when he's on the pitch, I know it really triggers people to talk about world class with him, but if you're going to go down the path of it's got to be done based on trophies, cool. He's won an FA Cup. He didn't feature in the final, fine. But his level of performance, week in, week out, he scored against all the big six sides in about 2 years. Penalties, open play, pinging them in the top bins, bottom left-hand corner. His level of consistency. And you saw the stat come up during the live. I don't know how you watch the game, Sophie, through the medium that I watch it through, or in there in America, but it's everything from assists alone, not goals, people, assists alone, goals. And again today, I mean, was it a goal and two assists, was it? It's just,
penalty and two assists, and you're right.
Yeah.
And actually, I think Saka has become such a man. I don't like him when people call him star boy anymore, because I think this season he's found a little dirty in his game. And I don't mind him getting that yellow card either. And I think he's been kicked about so much. I actually think maybe Arteta said to him, you know what, you get stuck in too. Don't go too far, but don't hold back. And I think that has been a major difference in his game. A quote from Mikel Arteta: we have to manage his minutes, and today we had to do the same. So Calafiori coming off a caution. Here's another one for you guys. A quote on Saka from Mikel Arteta. That's my dad taking a call from my brother who's traveling right now. I said to him, Dad, just go outside if you're going to be on the phone. But true Greek village fashion, he's like, hello, son. How's it going? Where are you? Incredible. It's the hardest thing to do in football. A player who can impact the game in that way, even in the opponents, even if the opponents don't know, if he's able to create these moments. That's a good quote, and I'll get your thoughts on his quotes. By the way, Hertzy, I love you. If you do not listen to not another Arsenal podcast, you should. I love those boys, and Hertzy is one of the greatest humans you'll ever meet in your life. He's wonderful. We're going to enjoy tonight and watch a beautiful game tomorrow, or an ugly one. Mikel, what's your take on Mikel's quotes here, Albert? And I would like for you to give the assessment of Mikel and maybe what we've been seeing from him in the last 3 games. 13 goals. He's got his star guy back in Odegaard. He kind of went through adversity with bows and arrows being fired at him all at the same time. What's your take?
It's interesting with Mikel, because when I came, me personally, coming into this season, it was about, I want to see from him how much he's actually going to utilize the squad and trust them a bit more, because I don't necessarily think he has mastered that in his time at Arsenal. That's just my own personal opinion. You can talk about recruitment and go into detail with the players that have been a success and not been a success, but for me this season is about how he manages the squad. And He did that today with the lineup. Yes, I know Thomas Partey was missing, but there was a few eyebrows raised with the Arsenal fans. Well, to be honest, there always is anyway, even when we're not even playing. But Mikel, that for me, that was the biggest thing for me this season, Sophie. Just how he utilizes the squad, and also as well tactically, because he's been in a job now. I know it's his first job, but he's been there 5-6 years now. You want to see the tactical tweaks. You want to see the in-game management to make changes in games where we find it difficult to break teams down. Yes, I get it. Martin Odegaard was a colossal miss, and you've seen that particularly in the last 3 or 4 games, or since he's come back into the team. But I think with Mikel, I'm laughing. It's an interesting one because I do like Mikel Arteta. I really, really do. And I do want him to get over the line in terms of that next step of being the progressive team that's consistently challenging for league titles. But taking that next step is the hardest, Sophie. You know, I would love Arsenal to win trophies in November, but as long as I've been watching football, that's not possible. But I think what needs to happen is we need to be in the race, in the conversation, come the penultimate games in May. Because let's be honest, if Arsenal fans look, I love Arsenal winning trophies, full stop. Let me get that in there. But to win one of the big ones, we are talking about the big ones, the Premier League or the Champions League. You're gonna need a little bit of luck along the way, but we've got a busy period coming up, Sophie. People talk about it was only 10, 12, 11 games. Once we get through the Christmas period and get into the new year, we won't be talking about it's only 15, 20 games. We've got to start. We're in the position now, Arsenal, where we are the hunters. We're not leading. We have to hunt and hopefully, make Liverpool earn it.
We like before I move on, JJ, good to see you in the house. Hello, you two wonderful people. Sophie, you get into Mr. Albert and being Sophie, you get into Mr. Albert and him being a jinx, both bloody goals. He texted me before they happened, him.
Yeah, it's right. I was saying we was cooking them, we was barbecuing them, and then they get the first goal and the second goal. Sophie, I would have loved to swap positions for Mikel just for 20 minutes. And when I went in for half time, because I hope he absolutely roasted them. I hope he absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I really hope. I think he probably did, if I'm going to be honest. But he really needed to, because I don't want to demonetize you, Sophie. I was a little bit hacked off when them two.
No, I don't even know if no. You could do what you want. It's fine. You say what you want. Say what you want. And by the way, only Liverpool win league titles in November, and Spurs. And although Spurs might be October, I think Spurs might be October. So. And you know what? Our Australian friend is correct. I think Mikel is learning. There's something about him this season that, I mean, we were hit, sucker punch, injuries, losing Saliba, red cards, players being banned, but you paid big bucks, right? You got to find a way through that. You got to grind through it, and it could have been a lot worse. And I think we're here, and I've been saying on the show for the last couple of weeks, Albert, and we've had other guests, Liverpool will come against some adversity. And people don't, Man City is so wounded right now. If there's anyone that can turn this around, it is Pep Guardiola, right? Don't write those mopes off just yet. It is way too soon to be ordering the funeral director for Manchester City. And it is way too soon to be planning the parade for Liverpool. And somewhere sandwiched in between that is Arsenal, who have found their groove again, and a Chelsea team that will probably fall to the wayside, but are playing a little bit improbable like Arsenal were in that 22-23 season, Albert.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I think you did a show with David Hillier, and he was talking about, because we've gone so close 2 years in a row, or taking it to the latter stages of, basically the season, and City pipping us, it's hard to go again, man. It is hard to go again, and you're seeing it with City in the sense that they've done the treble. They obviously came back and won the Premier League the following season, but they're in a period where, for their fans, this is not normal. This is unusual to go through such a To me, it's more than a blip, if I'm going to be honest with you. And it's more
Mm.
than just them missing Rodri. I don't need to be a football expert to turn around and say that. It's more than that. They look vulnerable, but you're right, Sophie, that you cannot write them off. And like I said, Arsenal in a very different situation in the last couple of years where we've been front runners. We're not in that stage of this season, and I think that's a fundamental difference. And will it be better for Arsenal to be playing catch up? We'll probably know in the next 4 or 5 games, because we're going to have to go on a run,
Yeah.
squeezing the Carabao Cup in between that as well. That is going to have to get us close, not guaranteed to get us over the line, because there's a lot of points to be played for. We still got to go to Anfield, which is the one result I've been crying out for years, to go and win there. But
Yeah, not get a draw, right?
yeah, I don't want to
You
ever.
mentioned the Cubs, the cups, Albert, on the bench today. Think about the cups too. I actually was looking at our bench, and I said to my cousin George, who you know, I said to him, that bench is actually decent. You got Kivior, Jesus, Zinchenko, Sterling, Waneri, Tierney, Gabby, and young Nichols.
One, yeah.
I mean, those players at this point in the cups manage that process, right? Where then our players who are, the forefront and in the trenches vying for the Premier League, I mean, they're all playing together, don't get me wrong. But that is not bad for having to sub out, say, half the squad for cup games.
Yeah, and this leads to the point again I'm saying about Mikel needs to manage the squad better. He does, because
Yeah.
now, if we get through Palace, we've got them twice within, I think, the space of 3 days, I think it is, because we've got them in the league as well. But if we beat them in the cup, that's another game. And Waneri's ready. I don't care what anyone tells me, he's ready. I've seen enough in the preseason. I've seen enough in the minutes he's played. He's a special talent. Maybe even a wild card pick for to go to the World Cup next year. Who knows? But I think it's a tough one, Soph, because again, I'm just going to be watching what Mikel does in terms of the squad rotation. It's huge. And obviously we've got
I
the
think he's
draw for
got
the
it
FA.
right, though, Albert. When you look at Champions League, I mean, I'm sure there were a few fans worried today. Oh, Jorginho. I mean, I was like, yes, Jorginho. We coped without Partey and Marino. And I don't want it to be this fallacy, because West Ham aren't great. They're not good, are they? They're
No,
not.
they're not. And the thing with Jorginho, what he is, he's a very good passer of the ball. He brings a calmness. And you won't see, as good as Thomas Partey is in the position he plays, he can be very erratic and giving the ball away, but you don't really get that with Jorginho. And like you mentioned earlier, he's given a performance today, and I think Mikel knows this anyway, to be honest with you, where he can be called upon, not just to come
Yeah.
in and deputize, but to actually be an influence in terms of his experience, his passing ability, and getting us actually. He's quite a progressive passer. He's not a sideways passer. When you watch him play and watch him play closely, he can get us further up the pitch with his vision and his passing ability, which is very, very important, particularly for the way Mikel wants to play. And obviously with Martin Nerdegaard back in the side now. So if you just to go back a little bit, you talked about Timber earlier.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, and I've been very vocal about this, if anybody bothers to listen, you never know. So YouTube's a lot of content, but I said with Timber at the beginning of the season, if you watch him specifically defensively and the positions he takes up, he's brilliant. Even when people say, "Oh, Arsenal not playing well," I said, watch him play closely. And the more he's played, and you can see the quality he brings, and his positioning defensively is superb. I can talk about him offensively because he's brilliant at that as well. He's good on the ball. He gets you further up the pitch. And I saw obviously Potsy saying in terms of the potential for him to be one of Arsenal's best. It's a big call. This is his first full season really, but from what I've seen so far, he's been excellent.
This was a talking point, Albert, in the week to James at AFTV, Timber
Big up,
and
Jay.
you mentioned Benjamin White, yeah. But sorry, Carrie, I just wanted to put it up just because it is something we've been talking about, with Jury and Timber especially.
No. It's fair play, Sophie. Yeah, and listen, Ben White's been brilliant. He's in his time at Arsenal, and even when he's at Brighton, he's played to play in a back three, the right side of a back three, right back, centre back, right side of a centre back partnership. So, and he's done very, very well. But in top level competition, in top level sport, tomorrow is not guaranteed. You're not just going to walk into the team. The manager might pull a master stroke or a surprise to you when you look at the team sheet and think, "Oh, I'm not in today." Keep you guessing. As good as Ben White's been and consistent as he's been, Ewan Timber's come in, and we talk a lot about recruitment at Arsenal and the ones we've got wrong. Let's talk about the ones we've got right. And Ewan
Yeah.
Timber thus far, has been absolutely superb. But we've got to manage him, Sophie. We have to manage him though. Let me throw that in there because he had a serious injury. And he is high risk along with Thomas Partey, and they've been very good this season, both of them. But yeah, Ewan Timber, let his form continue. But I say to people, when you watch him play, watch him positionally where he puts himself. He is
I mentioned
absolutely
that.
first class.
Yeah, I mentioned that at the top of the show. I'm like, when he's in our third or at the halfway line, I called him like a Hawkeye. The way he observes the game and just anticipates is really very special. And you're right. We do have to I don't want to be like wrap him up in cotton wool, but with Benjamin out for months, God,
Yeah.
you don't want to be losing Timber at this point at all. And a quick hello to AFC Max, our really good friend of the show. Thank you so much for joining. And Max said, can we please talk about Gabriel's 22 goals overtaking Koscielny as Arsenal's scoring CB?
Shout.
That's a major shout. This
Yeah,
beast.
I think it was it. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I think it's probably 2 or 3 seasons ago. In between that bracket, he was a leading goal scoring centre back in the Premier League.
Yes.
Gabriel.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And one thing you want. Yes, he's a fantastic defender. He's a touch tight defender. He's aggressive and the rest of it. And there was obviously talk about him maybe not even being fit for the game today. And you saw that because obviously he's been brought off as precautionary. But that partnership of the good and good cop, bad cop with him and Saliba is phenomenal.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, absolutely. So when they talk about these guys together working in tandem and being 2 of the best centre back pairings in Europe, they absolutely are. I mean, I have to go through the archives of watching every league in Europe to find me a better centre back pairing. Yeah, the Liverpool fans might argue about Van Dijk and Konate. No problem. I ain't got an issue with that because they've been excellent together, to be honest with you. But Gabriel, yeah, he deserves a lot of flowers, and you've spoken about this a lot for about 18 months. Saliba gets a lot of plaudits, rightly so, but Gabriel, defensively, superb. And what he does do is he gives us something in the opposite end of the box. We've got some big boys, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiore will get us a few goals this season. Trust me on that. But Gabriel's been superb. I mean, I don't know what the setup is in the Brazil national team in terms of if he gets in the side, but if he doesn't, they must have some good centre backs in Brazil. I'll tell you that.
He's the one that does get in. Gabby Martinelli, and in the past, Jesus. Jesus played second fiddle to Richarlison, which is kind of crazy considering when he was having good form with us as well. Okay, well, we have been waxing lyrical for 53 minutes. And at some point, a girl has to put on some clothes and get dressed. She can't be in her Victoria's Secret gown for the rest. Well, I could actually. I could just sit here.
Well, I'm not complaining. So for I'll tell you that.
Got another big game tonight. LA Galaxy are playing in the Western Conference Final. So La Masier's Ricky Pooch is shining. And I tell you, this player, I'm keeping my eye on him. I told Clive Palmer to do a spec on Gabriel Peck. This player, he's going to be like Duran, who's come to Aston Villa and had an impact. But this guy is much more talented. So I'm excited. I love watching this guy play. There's there's few players in MLS you like appointment television. He's appointment television. So I'm really looking forward to that. Albert,
So if you can,
I don't
so
know
if you can
if you
ask you a
know.
question,
Yeah,
when
ask
are you
me.
coming to
Ask
the UK
away.
again?
Hopefully, February time. Just saying, it's out there. Truth is out there. End of January, February time.
There's a certain game at the Emirates in February, so I'll be there, representing, of course.
I love it. I love it. Albert, I want to share something with you too, because I'm expecting more from you, squaddies. I need more entries for the Arsenal Invincibles coin. It's a time to shop now, Albert, and you can get really reasonably priced coins like the North Bank coin, the Arsenal, and the Clock End. But the Invincibles one's a little bit special. It's a little bit more, and I'm giving one away. And I'm asking everyone to send me their favorite story from the Invincible season. No more than 500 words, because as I've told them, I'm not going to read it like Ross and Rachel, 50 pages front and back. And I want your stories emailed to the Highbury Squad. Look, you just want to drink the whiskey and eat the coins in this shop.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The Highbury Squad at gmail.com. It could be from watching from your sofa. You didn't have to be at any of the games. Don't worry about being present. As an Arsenal fan, you're present no matter where in the world you might be. So send your favorite Invincible story, personal, whether it's sad, rad, glad, had, whatever it is. You just send it in to us. And thank you also to Football Prizes. The Patrick Vieira auction ends on Tuesday, sorry. $3.95 is the best way to build your collection. Give our friends at Football Prizes a follow. Go to footballprizes.co.uk and get your ticket today. As you can see in the background, there's other shirts to win, 15 other instant prizes as well. Right. This has been rocking, and I'm glad that you popped in. It is so beautiful, Chief Like Officer Tammy. It really is.
Love Tammy.
Oh, what's he saying? What's he saying? The Hammers manager. Surely he can't be complaining. Dude, you got spanked. Just keep your mouth shut. Albert, as you know, the guest always gets to have the final say here. What would you want to say to the squaddies? What message you want to leave them with? We've got some big games coming up. We'll talk about them in the week. But hey, we're on a roll. We're on a roll. Rolling.
Cool. What do I want to say? Well, firstly, people, happy Saturday, wherever you are. And hopefully the festive season is upon us tomorrow. 1st of December tomorrow. God dear.
My tree's up already.
Yeah, mine's up today. I put it up today. I did. I did put it up today. I did. But yeah, final words. Yeah, listen. Us as Arsenal fans, we have to go through the mill, but that is what you do when you support your club. Albert Square. I've had many nicknames before, Harvey. Don't worry about that. But yeah, listen, it's hard. Listen, we've got an opportunity to try and win this Premier League. It is not in our hands, and just maybe, just maybe, that might work in our hands. But listen, we've got a tough Christmas period coming up. The games are coming thick and fast. We have Manchester United on Wednesday. I will be there, screaming my lungs off. We also got Fulham on the Sunday as well. People, come January time, hold your horses. We know what Arsenal are when it comes to transfer windows and business. So we may get a little help, or Mikel might just look at the squad and say, I have enough for now. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. But listen, big games coming up. Enjoy the festive period. Look after your loved ones, like the big man used to say, Super Kev, and tell your loved ones you love them.
And don't forget to go follow Albert JTV. Albert JTV. You can also see him hosting some watch-alongs on Lee Judge's, Gianni Judges, as we love to call him here, channel as well. And Albert, you'll have an opportunity to wish him happy holidays again soon, because we're going to have you back before the holidays so we can talk a little bit of football as well. All right, my squaddies, love you lots like vodka shots. It's been an epic day. We spanked the Hammers. We spanked Sporting. We spanked Nottingham Forest. Who wants a spanking next? Galinecta.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Prince Albert and King Albert, but Herb Albert?